Hey guys, so listen, sorry I just limited to a video update this time around, but yeah, today's Miki's birthday, so doing something special with her and her whole family actually. So I just couldn't bring myself to skip the whole day and dog out on her for her birthday. So just wanted to share a couple highlights of what the Lord has been doing and what we're up to in the Oasis Refugee Ministry. And it's been just a real special year for me to be involved there. And yeah, it's just been a wonderful experience, and God is really moving in our midst. And I'm just really joyful to get to serve there. I feel like it really does fulfill, in several different ways, this passage from Luke 4, where Jesus quoted that a passage from the Old Testament: "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and recovery of sight to the blind, to set at liberty those who are oppressed, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord." And just getting to do that for these refugees who are broken, and we just do find openness in those who choose to visit the Oasis. I'm sure there's many others who don't even set foot inside the place because they're not open, but those that do come in, we've found real openness and looking for hope, looking for healing. And yeah, I mean, just a couple testimonies. This one young man that I met 2 weeks ago, Afshin, if I can pronounce his name correctly, from Iran, and is traveled through Turkey, was in Turkey for 2 years, and now has been in Austria since last summer. He came during the huge, wave of refugees last summer, but it just so happened that God sorted it out for him to be placed in a tent with another Iranian believer. So there he was, his first day in the refugee camp in Austria, and he was with another Iranian Christian. And here he was just coming off the experience of being in Turkey for so long and going to the mosque regularly. And he just shared that he went there often and prayed for help, for answers, but there was just nothing, no answers. And really felt just that there was no response from all of his efforts there. And then he arrives in Austria and is placed in this tent with this other believer, soon visited the Oasis and met up with our main translator for Farsi. His name's Ali. And he obviously was just very encouraged and really started considering things. Now his paperwork has gone through. He's officially, approved to be here in Austria. He's gotten asylum, and he's living in Vienna. And at this point is living in a WG, in an apartment with 3 other Iranian Christians. So I feel like God is really working on this man's life. He's just 20 years old. He was already an auto mechanic for 5 years in Iran and knows his way around. So he's now getting licensed to become an auto mechanic here in Austria. His coursework, the program that he's in, is of course all in German, and he shared with me that he also attends one of the Farsi-speaking churches, this guy, Pastor Cesar, in Vienna. And he just said whenever he goes there, whenever he comes to the Oasis, he's so happy, so vol, so full, so feels so at peace. And yeah, I just feel like this is a good example of our heart, to reach out to someone like that and pray that this guy does fully come to the Lord. He, at the moment, describes himself as neither Christian nor Muslim, and is still searching on things. But yeah, just pray for him. And there's others who have become Christians in this past year and are being discipled, have been baptized and so forth. And yeah, it's just indescribable how special it all is. And others who are still just really broken. I think of the one woman who's a widow, and her husband was killed in Iran because he was a policeman. And obviously some people didn't appreciate his work, so she left the country with her children, and really tragically, along the way, as they literally went by foot through the mountains or, forest, the countryside through Macedonia, one of her sons, the 10-year-old, drowned in a river. And the other 4 children were there with her, of course. So they're just all still traumatized by that. And yet they're so happy. They're so joyful when they're with us at the Oasis. And so just pray for her. Her name is Hafiza, if I can pronounce it correctly. Hafiza. And 3 boys and 1 girl. The youngest is like just 2 years old. So the loss of the father is also not that distant in the past even. So yeah, their son is 2, and another one is like 4 or maybe 5. The daughter, I think, is like 8, and then there is a 13 or 14-year-old. And yeah, so just pray for that family. They're visiting us, but how open they are, it's hard to say. I know the children have been really impacted by watching the Jesus film. Well, the younger boy did. The girl was really quite amazed to hear about the resurrection of Jesus. It was like she was hearing it for the very first time, which was probably the case. And was just amazed to hear the gospel message. So you can pray for that family whenever you think of them. And just shoot me an email if you'd like to receive regular updates. I can for sure stay more in touch if you'd like. I try to send out a prayer update, actually, to a small group of prayer supporters once every 2 weeks. And then the proper full-on newsletter, unfortunately not as often as I would like. But just shoot me an email if you'd like to be included in that every other week prayer update, which is usually like in the form of a recent story, someone to pray for. And otherwise, as far as us personally goes, it is been a different year. Miki just started school teaching, and she's just a part-time teacher. And yet, if anyone has been a teacher before, they understand that there's a lot more work involved than just the time in the classroom. And so it is a challenge for us this year. I'm with the kids from when they wake up. Miki leaves early, like 6:15, 6:30. She's out the door. So I'm with the kids from 6:30 till when she gets back around 2 or 2:30, and then in the evenings on Wednesday and Thursday I head out to the Oasis for the ministry programs there that are on Wednesday and Thursday evenings. And I am gone all day Tuesday for the staff meeting and devotional time that we have on Tuesdays. But her parents look after the kids at that point. Anyways, let me not bore you with a long monologue here. Sorry, this is carrying on. But it's just it's a challenge for us. And because Miki then does still have planning to do in the evenings for the next classes, from like. Often she's planning from like 9 till 11 p.m. Doing her prep work, her grading for the next day. And so it's good, and the Lord is carrying us through it, but probably very most likely just going to be this 1 year of school teaching, and then Miki will be doing her best to find an office job instead, because it's just too time demanding, the role of a teacher. So you can keep us in prayer as a family, and I'll just leave it at that. So thanks for letting me kind of be present, at least in this sense, and hope you guys have an encouraging time together, and we'll be in touch. All right, see you.